Jeeno Thitikul, she's just 22 years old, 7 wins already on the LPGA Tour, 2025 Player of the Year. She won the Bear Trophy for the second time, overtook Nelly Korda as world #1, and in the last tournament of the year, she made a statement, won the CME Group Tour Championship and the $4 million first prize, shooting 26 under to win going away. Upcoming LPGA schedule kicking off with the celebrities at Lake Nona end of the month, then to Asia for 3 tournaments before landing in California. The first major, that's late April in Houston. It is the Chevron. And we now welcome in Paige Mackenzie. And Paige, good to see you. Brand new commissioner on the LPGA Tour in Craig Kessler. What are your early impressions of Craig?
Early impressions are he brings a lot to the table. He's enthusiastic, he's energetic, and I don't think he's going to be afraid to change things up and shake up the LPGA Tour. And the reason I say that is earlier in the season, or a couple months ago, it was announced that the LPGA Tour would be bringing in new technologies on their broadcast. And from what I heard around that announcement, is he wants it to look and feel different. And this is the face forward front of the LPGA Tour. This is how they're reaching the majority of their fans. And if he wants it to look and feel different, he's clearly unafraid to make changes and make a splash. That certainly can be risky, but I also think that the LPGA is positioned in such a way right now that it could be highly rewarding. When you think about everything that's going on with the PGA Tour and how they're talking about potentially paring down some events, imagine the opportunity for the LPGA Tour to maybe slide in and pick off some of the sponsors that might be unhappy with the changes that the PGA Tour is making. So from what I see so far, I see somebody that knows and understands the LPGA Tour, understands its position, and also unafraid to make changes.
Yeah, jump in on some of those sponsors. And if, as has been floated, the PGA Tour opens up weeks where there are no tournaments possibly following a major championship, maybe the LPGA jumps in there with one of their big events, maybe with a major championship, get the spotlight all to themselves. Paige, do you think parity continues, or could Jeeno further separate herself? And to do that, she's going to have to start winning majors.
Well, I agree. I think she's going to have to start winning majors to improve her position within the game. Because actually what I see is there was parity in name on the season because we had so many first-time winners and so many different winners. But when you drill down a little bit further, Jeeno actually had a pretty dominant year. She had 3 wins, 4 runner-up finishes, and now where she's positioned in the world ranking, she's got over 5-point advantage over Nelly Korda between the #1 spot that she holds and the #2 spot. The equivalent distance between the 2 spot and the next is 40th position. So she does actually have a head and shoulders advantage over the second best player in the world. But I do agree there is a gap in her resume as it relates to major championships, and I'm sure that's going to be on her list of things to do in 2026.
Paige, what was the difference between winless Nelly last year and Nelly in 2024 when she won 7 times?
Well, Rich, you know me well enough to know I've got an Excel spreadsheet or a grid spreadsheet for pretty much everything. And when I dive into it and I look at what's the difference fundamentally between this year and last year, or 25 and 24, there's very little difference fundamentally in what Nelly Korda was doing. It's just sometimes it adds up to a W and sometimes it doesn't. And I think for Nelly Korda, this is one of the year, or 2025 was one of the years that it just wasn't adding up in the win column, but it didn't mean that she was playing poorly. So I think given her patience and her mindset, she's going to come out 2026 stronger than ever, knowing that she's playing good golf, but the results will, and eventually the results will follow.
Where's Rose Zhang?
It's a good question. This is a prodigy that everybody had massive expectations, especially after she won her first event as a professional. She went on a podcast recently and was talking about some of the injury that she had sustained last year, that some of the mental growth that she learned about herself in this 2025 season. She in fact said she didn't feel like she protected the peace in her life the way that she did her freshman and sophomore year in college. So likely going to learn from that. Hopefully will be healthy in 2026. She did have her finals week the week of Grant Thornton just a couple of weeks ago. She's still trying to finish her degree at Stanford and will hopefully wrap that up. She said she only got 20 more credits to go, so hopefully 2026 will also include a graduation.
Lastly, what did you make of the move to Memorial Park for the Chevron, the first major of the LPGA season, third week of April?
A disappointment originally in the fact that this event is moving once again from Palm Springs, obviously, to Houston, now into a different venue. But I'm optimistic because I do know that when LPGA has gone to a PGA Tour venue, oftentimes things do get exponentially better, whether it's the crowds that are already familiar with parking, know where to go, whether it's the volunteers that have already volunteered for the last decade at this golf course. There is a level of service changes when it is an established venue. And so my hope is, while this may not be the biggest announcement as it relates to venues for the LPGA Tour, it might be a great place for them to land because of the fact that they have the experience of hosting a big PGA Tour event.
Just seemed to be lacking some juice out at Carlton Woods, the previous venue. This is a tournament that had a distinct identity when it was in Palm Springs, in that area, for a long, long time, trying to find that yet again. Paige, thank you, and we look forward to talking with you again very soon.